What is going on, guys? I wanted to real quick here talk a little bit about the psychomotor skills. A lot of times I'm on here, I talk a lot about the written exams, and I wanted to give some tips, just some things to think about when you're doing this psychomotor exams, all those skills exams, right? That can be even more stressful sometimes depending upon your comfort level than the written test. Okay. So my suggestion is to one of the big things I'll say when you walk into whatever exam station it is, a lot of times we don't always know the instructor that is going to be teaching that skill or going to be grading that skill. So just introduce yourself a little bit. Say who tell them that what your name is. It kind of helps let you stand out a little bit from everybody else if you walk in and say, "Hey, man, my name is Jimmy. Uh, you know, I'm hoping to really pass this," or "My name is Jimmy. I hope it's not been too crazy for you today." Things like that. Make eye contact, say hello, be friendly. Okay, and like I said, ask them if they're having a good day, right? I hope your day's not going too crazy today. How are you doing, right? Listen, these guys and girls that are grading these papers and all, they're humans just like we are, right? And you don't want them, you know, being any more feeling like they're less than human either, right? So just kind of, introduce yourself, and again, if you can get it in there, find out how their day is going, and remember the basics. Okay, every station you're going to be expected to say scene safety, BSI, the body substance isolation. Okay, don't forget this one little step. And I know that a lot of times when we're doing skill, this is drilled into us, okay? But it's important because a lot of people, believe it or not, it is one of the most frequently critical criteria that people forget to address. And that automatically results in you failing that skill. So don't forget that one little part, okay? Another thing is asking for vital signs. Now, a lot of times what happens is you might start getting a little off track. You're getting stressed out, you're losing your train of thought, okay? If you start feeling stuck, you become unsure of what you should be doing next, all right? Ask for vital signs. This is going to give you a couple of things. One, it's going to give you information that you need to determine maybe what your next step is going to be, but it's also going to make the proctor look down at their paperwork, and that's going to give you a moment or two to figure things out. All right, so it's kind of buying time, right? So that's one thing you can try to do as well. And don't forget that the instructor, the proctor, they're going to have most of the information already, and they're going to give you a lot of this information. So if there are things that go on, like you didn't check the patient's pupils, you can ask them. I'm checking the eyes right now. What are their pupils? Are they equal reactive? And again, this is sort of an advantage that you can have if you get stuck. Okay, so asking these assessment questions until you can kind of get yourself back on track and then back into your primary or back into your secondary survey, that can really help you. All right. Again, guys, these are, it's not, you're going to sit there the whole time and start asking, crazy questions and all, but you want to be able to go ahead, and if you start getting stuck, go ahead, ask some questions about the assessment so that you can buy yourself a little time. Okay. Now, this goes without saying, but study the skill sheets. You need to know those skill sheets frontwards and backwards. Become familiar with the skills that are being tested. Print them out, Bring them with you all the time at skill practice, and make sure you have the latest ones. Go to the NREMT website and download them, print them out, learn them, act them out. Okay, just this is one of those repetition type things you want to do. Okay, now when you're looking at these sheets, know the critical criteria list, the things that are going to be the automatic fail if you mess up. At the bottom of each of these sheets, there's a section that's labeled critical criteria. And underneath that is a list of all the things that's going to cause you to fail automatically if you don't do it or you do it on that skill. All right, so know what actions you can or can't take that might cause you to automatically fail that skill session. Okay, and you might even some of them you might not even think about, like I said, the BSI thing. Okay, so it's good to be aware of them, kind of glance over them before going in for each individual skill station. That's going to help you. Now, and of course, practice is a big thing. This is a hands-on process. It's not a written test. So be proficient in the skills. Or a lot of it is verbal sometimes, and you got to kind of stay on track that way, right? But at the same time, you want to be able to go ahead and actually perform the skills, whether you do it on a partner, another student, your wife, your kid, a stuffed animal, whatever it is. Practice the skills. Get used to the motions of doing those skills and doing them using the skill sheets so that you have a sort of a system going down. If you can, have somebody act as a instructor, as a proctor for you as you're doing the skill, and see if you're missing out on steps, see if you're missing certain areas that you're doing. Okay, and keep practicing that, guys. Keep performing those skills until you feel comfortable with each step within that skill sheet. This way, before testing, you should really be able to get through the entire skill sheet, okay, without making any mistakes, without looking at it during the actual test. Okay, guys, the last thing I'm going to say, and this is something that, believe it or not, a lot of people don't do, or they hesitate doing for whatever reason. But you know what? There are a lot of videos out there that demonstrate the skills. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the videos have mistakes in them. Everybody makes mistakes. When you're on camera, people make mistakes when they're on camera. I do it a lot too. Sometimes I say right too much, or I say too much, right? I just did it again. So when you're on camera, sometimes you make those mistakes, okay? But what you have to do is, when you're watching those videos on YouTube, all right, look at the skill sheet. See if the person doing the skills on that video is doing it correctly. That's going to help you memorize and acknowledge those different steps. It's also going to identify what they're actually doing and what they're missing. You might find you watch 2-3 videos of the same skill, and you might see those people missing the same steps that are on the skill sheet. Okay, and that's going to help you say, hey, don't miss that step because they're missing that step. So just some quick tips there, guys. I wanted to just quickly go over today, because I know I focus a lot on the written exams, and I know that's super helpful. But at the same time, I want to give some tips to you on getting through those skills, those psychomotor exams, because those can be equally as stressful. All right, guys, I hope this helps out a little bit for you. Please hit the like button for me. Let me know you're engaged, you're watching these videos. I'm doing this for you. I love doing these videos, love getting the content out there. If you want to see a video on something that is important to you in EMS, send me a message. You can send it to jhoff@emsseo.com, and I can go ahead and try to get a video done here, a live video on something that you're interested in. Also, if you want to be better at EMS, I say this all the time. I beat this drum, not one because I want you to become a member over at turbomedic.com, but I also want you to be better at EMS. If you go to turbomedic.com, you can read all about it there, guys. You can get hours of audio and video, gigabytes of downloads, practice exams, and I am just updated the NRE-SIM software, which is sort of a national registry simulation exams that are there, okay? And hopefully that'll help with your national registry test. So they're going to be updated. I'm working on that. Hopefully the next couple of days, there will be 100% live. So in addition to having that software on there, it's also another like 1,200 questions added to the paramedic exam section as well for you to go ahead and practice on. All right, let me end it there, guys. Guys, as always, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm Jim Hoffman for paramedic and EMSSEO.com. Stay safe.